So yes, that is a dog head. It is little Z. As we know, all of these screens are not shuffled, so we're going to get our wood sword right here, or in the case of Lil Z, we're getting the dog bone. Now you're going to see the up A's there from both Dr. Blue and JSR. That is a little trick just to make things go a little bit faster than having to walk out of the cave. So here is where this set of routing becomes very, very interesting, because we have three of our runners, JSR, Norestra, and Garion are both opting to go right, whereas Dr. Blue has opted to go into level 3. JSR and Garion are both opting to go level 1 first, and Norestra is opting to go level 2 first. And this is one of those things where it makes, this set of flags very interesting, because you've got 4 runners here and 3 different strategies immediately. Now, I'll be joined, Crimson Ash will be back here joining me here in a minute. He's got a couple of things he's going to do on the backside here. We've got JSR and Garion both finding a staircase item in one. That's going to be our first item of the game. That is going to be a heart container. As I mentioned at the beginning, heart containers are shuffled into the mix here, so we are going to get some of that. Dr. Blue, meanwhile, down in level 3, has discovered a map. Did not opt to pick it up because he's not going to need to, because all of the shapes are their vanilla shapes. So level 3 is going to be the Manji. Level 1 is going to be the Eagle. Level 2 is going to be the Moon. Nora opting to go pick up some money here in the Armos Caves. Now, interesting thing about the Armos Caves, this is one of those few things in this set of flags that has a little potential to be randomized, because there's a 50-50 chance that the Armos item is randomized. It's going to be switched between one of those 5. What that basically means is go ahead and go check the Armos by the grave. If it's the item, great. If not, it's going to tell you where it is, because it's going to have switched caves. Speaking of switched caves and things people wish had switched, I'm pretty sure JSR and Garion have both wished that the Wizrobes didn't switch their way into level 1, because that looked painful. We have got Norestra now in level 2, this lovely little Pepto pink color. We picked up a compass there. A compass is always a good thing to know, because okay, I have to kill this room for the Triforce, and it lets you know, oh hey, there's a Goma, there's a Dig Dogger, I have to kill this. The interesting thing about level 2, as opposed to any of the other dungeons in this set of setup, is level 2 has 2 floor drops, which means you're going to have to kill a bunch of rooms to get what you need. In addition to Triforce, you get 2 rooms to get 2 drops. Every other level, save for level 1, which also has the 2 plus the staircase. So that's what Heart Shuffle does. It's going to force you to kill more rooms than you would probably like to, because if Heart Shuffle wasn't on, for example, here, if say this is level 3, you wouldn't have to worry about killing any other room but the Triforce room, simply because, well, I know that's the only drop that I care about. All right, Dr. Blue going to go ahead and is giving up on level 3 now. Did leave with a pack of bombs. Going to go here and pick up a medium secret, which is 34 rupees. Now, being right around that 55, 60 rupee mark, there is a fairly decent chance that if he comes across a candle shop, he will be able to afford the candle. And again, it is required to get into level 8 here. Does find the candle shop, unfortunately, at 78 rupees. Not enough money to pick it up. But the good news is he knows where it is, and he knows how much money he is going to need to purchase that. There's always the hope of you come across a red candle. But here's another thing. JSR coming across the wand in level 1. That's going to be huge. Not going to be able to deal any damage against the Wizrobes he encountered, but pretty much everything else is going to, pretty much make mincemeat out of them. It's going to be 2 hearts of damage as opposed to the 1 the wood sword's giving him. So early wand, always a fantastic find.
All right, and I'm finally done with all the back end stuff, so gonna catch up here a little bit. One of the important things to note is, because this is the vanilla overworld, a lot of stuff that you would be able to normally attribute to the vanilla game does come into effect here. So all the shops that are similar in the vanilla game, they're going to be similar on this. So if the candle is where it is, well, we know that the other shops that are normally similar to that will also have the candle. So you can sort of guide that into your routing, as well as the Armos item. We know that the Armos item is normally up near the grave. So you go there, and if you get a cave, you can go into the cave, and whatever cave you get, that's where the Armos item is going to replace. So a little bit of knowledge that you can use there to sort of help guide your routing in the overworld.
Yep, and speaking of that, Norastra did pick up a Triforce in level 2, and JSR has picked up a Triforce in level 1. I love the fact that the Lil Z Sprite just sort of wears the Triforce as a hat. It's absolutely adorable. Dr. Blue picking up a clock here in an NSU Wizrobe room, which you are always happy to see when you don't have a ladder, because killing these things in this room without a ladder is an absolute pain.
Now we're going to see JSR implementing screen scrolling here. This is a typical route that you'll see some runners take because it allows you to search a lot of these shops, and we find really cheap bombs at 5 rupees, as well as the cheaper meat at 65. There is a chance that we will need that. We'll have a meat block, so we may need to purchase that meat as well. And then it allows him to scroll right over to another shop and then also check the Armos statue before heading to level 6. So this is pretty standard routing that you'll see just because it allows you to get a lot of checks in.
Yep, and the other thing to make note of here is you see Norastra doing the same thing, attempting to screen scroll over here at level 5. The White Sword Cave is in its vanilla location, and the amount of hearts you need for that is shuffled between 4 and 6. So currently, as is, if Norastra was to go check out the White Sword item, he would only have a 33.33 repeating % chance of acquiring the White Sword item, whereas JSR has a 66.67 percent chance. I know, I say no math, but here I am rattling off percentiles.
We also did see that the Armos item was not shuffled in this instance because JSR got the heart container from the Armos statue up in the grave area.
Yeah, and the heart container is one of those very interesting things because, you know, you're always disappointed to find it because you want something else, but at the same time, if the White Sword item is something that you need, you're happy to get to the 5 or 6. That way, when you do make your way up there, you're like, okay, I have it, I'm good. Looks like JSR has found himself in a vertical moat room, so he's not going to be able to go to the right side of 6 here. Nora in level 5 did pick up the floor item, which was in fact a heart container, so that's a good thing. Having a heart container in on the floor in level 5, now you only have to worry about the stairs and the Triforce.
Yeah, finding the floor items are always much relief in these, just because they can be very time consuming, especially when we get into some of the later flags. But something else I would like to note here, TGE, is that we have a new tracker for this tournament, and you'll notice that we sort of abandoned the map that you may have seen on some of our prior races, and we are tracking the dungeon locations of every item. Now, it is important to note that throughout this tournament, we will not be tracking the heart because we don't know which one's actually the coast heart and which is just standard dungeon heart containers.
Right, but this is also going to allow anyone who is coming in late to see, oh, that's where they found this, that's where they found that. And apparently in all of our long ranting and raving, Krim, we both failed to notice that the bow was in level 1.
Well, I mean, that should have been on you. I'll blame that on me doing tech work at that point.
I mean, I'll take the hit for it. I have no issues with that. I'm just pointing out the fact that the bow was in level 1. But now I have a very important question. Because apparently from what I'm seeing here, and what I know to be true, is JSR is the only one with the bow. How does the head of a dog wield a bow and arrow? Can somebody please explain this to me?
With its ears. We do see Garion and Dr. Blue both heading into 2. Now, we've seen Nora in there earlier, and I don't know that we saw either floor item here in 2.
I don't believe we did. Nora is going to pick up the Triforce in level 5. Now, this is an interesting gambit here because he's already got the heart container, the floor item, and the triangle. So the question is, not having a candle to see the dark rooms, not having a ladder, do you do what Nora's doing right now and go back in to find the staircase item? Or do you take the gambit and just say, no, I don't need it?
I would say that because he knows he doesn't have to clear out rooms, he just needs to find where that staircase is, and I believe he actually already took the transport staircase. What he has to check for is actually very minimal, so I don't actually hate this gamble to go back in.
JSR are going to go ahead and come across a staircase here in level 6. This could be the transport, this could be the item. If it is the transport, it may get him to the other side of that river block. up in the north. So let's see where this goes. Nora going to go ahead and take the staircase in level 5 as Darian and Dr. Blue both killing the same room at the same time in level 2, acquiring the recorder. Now, the recorder, especially in this version of the randomizer, is quite possibly my favorite feature. Prim, would you like to explain what's going on with the recorder, or we just want to surprise people with it?
Well, no, we can go ahead and discuss it because it will allow everyone to play a new favorite game in Hyrule. We will always get Name That Inkblot later on, but we also get Name That Tune because, well, the recorder now has a special function that it no longer plays the normal recorder music. It is randomized to a bunch of different stuff, thanks to Fred and Zarnax for a lot of effort into putting a lot of these tunes in here. So it does allow for quite an interesting another little game we get to play.
Also, I would like to point out, as JSR picks up this heart container in 6, which is going to guarantee him the white sword item, he found the book lying on the ground, and he picked it up. Now, that's a very interesting thing, and I actually like this play here because without the candle, it gives him access to a fire source, which will allow him to light up dark rooms. And depending on the enemy set on the screen where level 8 is, he may not need a candle if he can time his wand shots perfectly.
Yeah, really beneficial. I mean, the wand will have other purpose. The book will have other purpose as well, but that's actually a great pickup there to do that, just in case, because now it eliminates him having to enter shops just checking for that candle. He can just navigate directly to all the levels and be done with it.
Oh, that white sword screen, usually it only has one blue Lionel. This time it has about 5 or 6. And they told Norestra, no thank you, you will not get what we're guarding. Come back later, sir.
Yeah, and that's actually a really unfortunate death because it is such a long distance to get back up there. Now, luckily for Nora, he does have the Triforce out of level 5, so once he gets back into level 2 and gets the required recorder, he will be able to flute his way back up to level 5 for easy white sword access if he decides that he needs to check it.
Or if he stops deciding that he really likes the taste of Lionel sword beams.
Yeah, Lionel sword beams can be annoying. Even you would think it would be easy with the fact that they stop before they actually fire, but no. Especially when there's a ton of them on screen, it's a bad dance that normally ends not well.
Yeah, usually it's pain, suffering, and yeah, it's not normally fun.
Dr. Blue going ahead and picking up his Triforce out of level 2, Nora entering level 3. We do have Garion searching around a little bit more, and JSR is in level 3 as well, taking an unfortunate death there.
Well, I think somebody knows that I'm talking about this. Krim, did you see what Garion just did? Because I am officially now not on his team.
Oh, well, apparently he got a...
We may have had some explosive potassium.
Oh, nice. Well, that's perfect.
It is not perfect, but I'm supposed to remain unbiased here, but I am definitely not on Team Lionel right now. My tune may change later, but right now, I'm going to pretend that bottom right doesn't exist. We're just going to focus on the fact that we've got Norestra and JSR both in level 3, and it looks like Dr. Blue heading up towards level 5.
Now, while we are going through here, we will see a few items here in level 3, but I do want to sort of note this structure for this tournament because it is a little bit different from what we've done in years past. We no longer have our Swiss rounds for this tournament. We are just doing qualifiers. Now, we set the number at 128. We were a little shy of that, so everyone who actually participates in just one qualifier is going to go ahead and be able to participate in the brackets portion. The qualifiers will dictate all of our seeding, though, for that portion. So it's good to still get in, and the flags actually progress. So each week we're going to introduce a new flag, and that will culminate in the week 5 qualifiers and the bracket flags having a conjuncture of all the flags that we introduce throughout. So it's a little bit different format, but I think this is one that really ties well to the to the format that we saw Fred and Jam run at the GDQ.
Yeah, and like I was saying in the open, I love these flags because you look at them on the surface and you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. But then you start in practice, and as you can see, people having to kill all these rooms because of the heart shuffle. And it's amazing how a quote-unquote simple addition like heart shuffle can add so much nuance and planning to a randomizer seed where you effectively know where everything else is. Also, JSR's Wizrobe dodging skills in this room right now are absolutely fantastic. That was amazing. Getting the Triforce out of 3. Wow.
Now, JSR actually didn't need to grab the Triforce. He probably did for the health refill more than anything at that point. But because there were 2 bubbles in the room, he could have left the room and there would have been no enemy respawn. So I think he probably just picked that up solely for the health refill being on half a heart.
Also, Kupo?
Are we going to get that every time we see a community hymn from you?
Okay, only the ones that make adorable noises. So Kupo, Que, Wark, you know. So I guess for your sake, hope we get the long phrases that I don't have to repeat.
Yes. So
I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here saying, hey, Krim, are you happy you decided to join me for commentary this time and just, dragging it out the entire length of the stream?
That is true as well.
Or asking you, hey, Krim, knock knock, to set up a horrible knock knock joke at the end of the stream?
So we see the floor item is just another heart container for JSR, and Nora barely escaping the vinyl swords part tray to get it into level 1 final.
Yeah, that is not a fun screen to have to get into level 1, and Nora's going to be somewhat happy to find this heart container here in level 1. It's going to guarantee him the white sword item when he ever gets back up there, if he ever gets back up there.
Now JSR already cleared this room once, but is clearing it again because he wants to get through that closed door down below. So cleared it out pretty fast this time, and he does come across the staircase item. So he's gonna have his level 3 cleared, and we have the power bracelet.
See, Power Bracelet is an interesting item in this set of flags because just like in the vanilla game, it's not going to give you access to anything directly, but it will give you easier access to locations. Between using the any roads here, it can get you over to level 6 and up into the Lost Hills pretty quickly. So the Power Bracelet's one of those things was, okay, I have it, it's here. Meh.
Yeah, I think Power Bracelet is one of those items that has a ton more value if you don't have the recorder, just because of that transport. But I mean, it's not horrible, especially being able to up A to start and get, as you said, to level 5 or level 6 extremely quick.
Yeah, you aren't wrong here. And JSR messing around a little bit, dodging the P-hats. Are we going to see a HUD clip? Are we getting a HUD clip?
We are getting a HUD clip, but actually what JSR was doing is he was actually trying to hit the P-hats with the beam from the wand to set the fire so he could get the 100 secret.
Oh yeah, and he's now going to do what we talked about earlier. He's going to get that Octorok right where he can, and he's going to attempt to set up to get the level 8 burn. And having Octoroks on that screen is actually really nice because those are going to be a little bit easier to deal with than... there he goes, and he got it. Not having to pick up the candle. JSR putting the book of all things to fantastic use.
Yeah, very good job there. We see Dr. Blue actually going through Death Mountain. You won't see a lot of runners up that way, but he's just scrolling his way over from level 5. He's going to be doing the same thing. He's going to check the Arma statue here, and then he will also go ahead and probably head into level 6.
Also, dost my eyes deceive me? Did I just see silvers in level 8.
Well, where else would they be?
Buried in level 9, past the room we have to bomb by Ganon.
Well, that possibly too, but JSR, now we don't know about ladder. Ladder is one of those fun things that it's always, it might be required type things. But JSR has a lot of the tools he needs. He just needs Recorder and Raft to be able to actually access all the dungeons, and then we'll have to see what the ladder holds in store.
Well, there's one thing I can guarantee. Raft is not going to be in level 4.
Well, yeah.
JSR is going to go ahead and be able to pick up the Recorder here in level 2. That's going to get him, basically all the way there. The Raft's going to be the only thing left that he is going to need to have access to all of the dungeons. I didn't say complete all the dungeons. I said have access to all of the dungeons.
Yeah, so far, JSR making fairly quick work. We'll have to revisit a little bit level 6 and stuff just to collect his Triforces, but not too many massive blocks for our runners yet. A lot of the items coming pretty quickly with the bow and the Recorder and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if we have any really big roadblocks for any of them.
I mean, at this point, knowing where we know a lot of the items are in this seed, a lot of the big roadblocks are going to be the combat. And that's what could be a lot of the combat. We have the white sword down as the white sword item itself that you see Dr. Blue has, which we kind of glossed over a little bit. That's going to make combat a little bit easier. But a lot of times, to me, the hardest part about these seeds isn't the combat, because you end up with an inordinate number of hearts, more than you normally would in a regular randomizer run. But it's finding everything, because with Heart Shuffle on, you have to kill so many more rooms than you normally would. So, to me, that's one of the big hang-ups in this, is just the amount, not necessarily the difficulty of combat that you have to do, but the amount of combat that you have to do. Yes.
Was that the any key for JSR? Okay.
No, it's not the any key for JSR, because he doesn't have the any key. But more importantly, take a look down at the screen I said I was going to ignore. I can't ignore it anymore, because we got ourselves the step ladder buried deep in, or not necessarily buried deep, but in level 7.
Okay, so there's one thing that... Oh, man, and the red ring. Okay, so level 7 is the gold mine today.
7 is stacked. I was doing a seed the other day where level 1 was ridiculous. You walk in the first room, there's the white sword in a staircase. And it was a diamond staircase, so it had a drop in it because we were in shapes. In the drop in that room was the bow. The very next room had the red ring. It was stupid.
So I guess the bigger question now in those regards is, how long does it take our other runners to get over to level 7? I mean, obviously the only one who can get there now is the Dr. Blue, but JSR should find his Recorder here soon. Nora is back into level 2, so he should be able to find his Recorder soon. So it'll be really interesting to see how long it might take some of these runners.
Yeah, JSR at this point should have the Recorder. He's been in every room in 2, and it was sitting out on the floor.
Unless that's what he grabbed that I thought was the end key for some reason.
Well, no, because it's not in his inventory. So I'm trying to figure out how he missed it. Because it's just sitting on the floor. It's not doing anything. And what you missed was JSR doing the proper thing and grabbing His Holiness Lord Banana, the wooden boomerang. And that's interesting. JSR opting to not go back into 2. And to be fair, with the little Z sprite, JSR actually grabbed the tennis ball.
Oh, that would explain it. And I created that sprite. You think I would know that?
Yes, you would think you would know that. Anyway, we did get the heart container for Dr. Blue down in level 6. I don't know why I enunciated level 6, but okay, we're going to go.
There's a lot of things I don't know why you do it, but yeah.
But yeah, that is an interesting bit here. JSR could be under the belief that the Dig Dogger we just saw on Nora's screen is in fact the thing that has the item. So he could be thinking that the recorder is anywhere else but 2.
Which would actually be really unfortunate because that would take a while and a lot of searching for him to even want to go back to level 2 to find that.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go search everywhere else. I mean, at this point, though, from what I'm seeing, we've got 2 of the 3. We've got all 3 items in 1. We've got all the items in 7. I am 99% sure the raft has to be the staircase item in 5. It's either the staircase item in 5 or it's one of the items in 8 at this point. So we know the raft. We know where the raft has to be.
Yeah, which isn't bad. I mean, a lot of the process of elimination is going to happen really quick, especially on the commentary side. But remember, the runners don't always know what we know. So JSR does have a lot of exploring yet to do before he decides level 2 might be where I have to go to. So.
Right, but he is here in level 5. He did start to pick up the blue dog bone, aka the white sword here, before he stopped into level 5. Not a bad idea at all.
No, and that's actually been one of the most discussed strategies leading up to this tournament is, do you actually check the white sword item before heading into level 5, hoping that it might be something that will assist you in your navigation, whether it is a better sword or, say a ladder or a wand or the any key or something like that. So JSR showing off the other side of that, whereas we saw Nora and Dr. Blue hit the White Sword Cave after level 5.
Yeah, and we've got Dr. Blue also in level 7, and you can go ahead and yell at both of us because we're the ones in charge of the audio, and neither one of us have noticed that we've had recorders being played, and we can't quite name that tune yet, so I'm going to take full responsibility for that. I apologize. Now we're going to go ahead and back up to the White Sword Cave again to try his luck round 2 against the Lionels, and so far, the Lionels have decided they are going to win. Dr. Blue gonna go ahead and pick up this lovely little step ladder. And
while the Lionels did a lot of heavy lifting, they definitely got the assist from the Zola there. So.
Oh yeah, the Zola definitely got the kill steal, but the Lionels did the heavy lifting.
Nora gonna pick up his candle, which will give him access to level 8 whenever he chooses. Well, it might be right now that he chooses to head over there because he's making a run for it.
Yeah, Gary, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Triforce out of level 7. So he's done with that. He no longer has to deal with level 7. He's got both items out of it. He's got the Triforce. He is good to go.
Honestly, the Triforce was the worst part about level 7 there, because we mentioned about him getting Red Ring a little bit ago, and now just getting the Triforce. So that's what's going to be the longer thing for our runners.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, I'm waiting to see the rest of this level 5, but there is a possibility that that whatever the second item is, whether it's the raft or otherwise, is ladder blocked in this 5 as Nora's going into level 8. Or it could be right down there and key blocked and we're all just, bleh. And JSR's like, I don't need the red candle. I have the wand and the book.
Yeah, he already did the one thing that the candle serves the purpose for in this, especially having 1, but more importantly, that was the right candle. So that tells us that Raft is indeed an 8.
Yes, it does. So Nora has potential to be finding it here. Nora did pick up the silver arrows. However, there is one unfortunate thing to do with the silver arrows. Nora's reputation... oh, he does have the bow. I was about to say, Nora has a reputation of not finding the bow, but he did pick up the bow in level 1, so we don't have to worry about that.
However, he did not pick up the recorder in level 2, and thus cannot kill that Dig Dogger.
Nope, and depriving us yet again of the wonderful dulcet tones of the Tootie Flute. Also, Krim, take a look at the price on the bomb upgrade.
Oh yeah, the bomb upgrade's 125, which is always bad.
Maximum explosive power!
It's especially bad when you do buy it and it's only 2 bombs.
Yes, but if I buy them at 0 bombs, I'm okay with it giving me only 10, because I had 0.
Now, you'll notice that JSR picked up the map there, and yes, this is vanilla, and yes, the maps are all the same, every single seed, but it's always nice to be able to pick up the map just to have a quicker visual representation of where you are, rather than trying to visualize it in your mind. So that's why you'll still see a lot of runners pick up maps, especially for like level 5, level 8, level 7.
Level 9. Alright, so we've got round 3 of Nora versus the Dark Nuts. So, Krim, who you got? Or the Lionels, excuse me. Who you got?
Well, right now, Nora seems to be doing a little bit better. He's giving himself an escape route by only standing on the half tile, so he doesn't have to move as far, and he does get by there. Now, you'll notice on that first Lionel he killed, he was standing off to the right. Hitboxes are skewed in this game, like, pretty badly. And if you stand on the right of any enemy, all their projectiles will miss you as they fire them down or up at you. So that's a nice little strategy to know.
Very, very twixy. JSR are going to go ahead and pick up his Triforce out of level 5, so he has got 4 of the 8 required Triforces. Garion has 4 of the required Triforces. So the right side of our screen is halfway there. I would go into a Bon Jovi song, but I'm pretty sure it's not covered under the licensing agreement, and we might get the sound muted.
I'd also be looking for a new commentary partner.
You threaten me with this every time, and you never go through on it.
I didn't say I'd be the one doing it. I think another one of our FG mods is hanging out in chat right now.
Yes, but every time we do this, you always threaten that you want to find a new commentary partner. You never do. It's beginning to be like, I don't believe you anymore.
Well, that's quite alright. We do have Garion now in level 6. Nora is hanging out over in that direction. We'll be heading into level 6 very, very shortly, while Dr. Blue is still doing his Dark Nut dance in level 7.
So by process of elimination, actually, with that Dig Dogger walking level 8, JSR knows that the recorder has to be here in level 2 because he got the item out of 5. Absolutely.
So we'll be doing the great rewalk of level 2 to attempt to find that item. And we do have Dr. Blue picking up the Triforce in level 7. I would expect to see him drop down to level 3 here because he is in that general vicinity.
It makes sense. I mean, you're right here. You might as well do it.
And Nora is going to find that he's not going to have as much fun in level 6 as, say, Garion, because Nora doesn't have a ladder, so his navigation is going to be very limited.
But what we do know is that level 6 is, mostly completable without the ladder. You do need the ladder to get to the Triforce, but everything else in there,
Absolutely, and Garion picks up the book as well. Now, he may not have the candle either, so that is actually really good for him. He can do the same thing that JSR did earlier to get into level 8, but he also does have enough rupees that he can just actually go grab a candle before heading to level 8 too.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Narastra there, a couple of Darkness decided they wanted to give him the business.
So JSR still going through level 2, just trying to find that recorder. Garion picks up the Triforce in level 6. That puts him at 5, so he is on a really good pace right now. Still has to find that raft, which is probably which we know is in level 8, so he'll have to navigate back that way soon. But I would say that he's in pretty good shape right now, having both the ring and the ladder from 7 as well.
And JSR did go ahead and pick up the recorder. Apparently it was in a room with enemies. I was mistaken, but yeah, the wall master in that room tripped up JSR, but he did go ahead and pick up the recorder. He's probably going to head to level 8 now and kill that Dig Dogger. So coming up here, ladies and gentlemen, will be our first chance of the tournament to play what I hope is going to be the new game, Sweeping Through Hyrule. So everyone, get your ears ready, get your stuff ready, because coming up soon, we are going to play Name That 2.
Now, as was mentioned in chat, one other big thing for Garion is he does have to return to level 1.
You interrupted the recorder.
Yeah, I tried to shut up fast enough. Interesting trick from JSR there, though. He only killed one of the mini doggers and left the room. Why would you do that?
Well, because like the Landmolas or the Moldorms, they are technically classified as all sort of the same boss type of thing, but if you kill one, exit, and re-enter the room, it considers that you killed all of them, so they just all disappear. So it's like killing 3 for the price of 1.
And all these bomb walls in level 8.
Hello, Patra.
Hey. So, for those that don't know, this is a possibility now. Bosses can sort of shuffle with themselves. Before, if you saw Patra in level 8, or if you saw another enemy or boss in level 8, you would know that, it's either all Patras or there won't be a Patra. Well, now Patra can end up with Dig Doggers. He can end up with Aqua Menaces. So, yeah. Surprise Patra?
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite things now is there's also a More Bosses flag. So I have played a couple seeds recently with the More Bosses flag on, where literally you get a gauntlet of the following. You walk in, there's a linear path through in level 1, and the first 6 rooms you get are the following: Manhandla, Goma, Dig Dogger, Patra, and Patra.
Nora telling us that he can't read because he just tried to won the book. I've never seen that strat before. Normally it's burning the book, but...
So what you're saying is he ignored it?
Yes. And I still can't figure out that recorder tune.
I missed it too. I was too busy making a bad pun. Also, both Nora and JSR are going to go ahead and pick up park containers, albeit in different dungeons.
I wasn't even listening to you. I just couldn't place the recorder tune. And JSR are going to try to bomb the Goma. Interesting strat, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Yep. What's funny is if you didn't say that, I was going to.
Alright, so... One thing that's kind of interesting here that we haven't really discussed much, other than me mistakenly thinking JSR grabbed it earlier, is look at our key counts. We have both Garion and Dr. Blue pretty comfortable in keys, but Nora has basically been on earn a key, spend a key budget lately. So really interesting to see how keys may come into play for Nora going forward.
Alright, so that's going to be it for Nora here in level 6 as the ladder is taking care of all of the blockage you can need. And we have a clock here in this darkened room. Nora is going to go ahead and pick up a bomb pack. Bomb pack is the word I'm looking for. It's okay. Talking is hard.
Yeah, and he bombs over and finds the compass, and the compass tells him, you're not doing anything else here.
Well, Patra guards the Triforce. JSR looks at it and realizes, nope, I can come back and get that anytime I want to because Triforce, Patra's a boss, so he'll just stay dead. So he's going to go ahead and continue looking through level 8, where he doesn't know that it's the raft because he ain't been to 7 yet, but we know it's the raft because everyone else has been to 7.
Yeah, so he still needs a ladder as well, potentially, so it does not hurt him to sit here and look around. But the unfortunate thing is with where that staircase is and what is north in the P column, there might be something that is indeed ladder blocked here, Nate. But he's going to take this staircase, and it is the raft, so never mind, he finds the raft. So we know where all the important stuff is.
Yep. They're logs, they're big, they're heavy, they're wood. They're logs, they're better than bad, they're good. And Krim hates me now.
And just like that, Dr. Blue finds his heart container, so he knows there is one item left here to find in level 8. I believe he did find the floor item as well.
Yep, the 4 items in the first room there, it's the silvers. But yeah, so at this point, JSR is not quite in go mode. Oh, that's, is that Mario RPG?
Could be. He's going to check out the coast item there, see that it's a heart, and he's not going to bother with that. Now, it's interesting because earlier I did mention that there's the very rare instance that ladder is not required. That is not going to be the seed. We know that just because of level 6. So JSR is going to head into level 7. Or no, he's actually going to head to level 4 first and then come back around to level 7, which is actually excellent routing. He can hit 4, go to 7, and then wrap around back up to level 6. So this is actually going to be really good routing on JSR's side.
Absolutely. Nora going to go ahead and duck back into level 3. And Dr. Blue going to go ahead and pick up the compass in level 8, knowing where the Triforce is. Then have the unfortunate pleasure of heading into a room from the left into Blue Land Mola's, but does have the red ring, so it's not as bad as it seems. And trust me, coming out of a door into the left with a shutter into Blue Land Mola's is never fun.
No, and something interesting, JSR was no longer man's best friend because he decided to beat up the old man, and that was to build a count. You just saw him bomb a little gel there. The next enemy he kills will actually give him a bomb drop, so that's why he was smacking the old man, because that does help you build up your count.
Hey, 10th enemy has the bomb. And then Nora needs bombs and keys and everything because he's got zeros under both of them.
And as we mentioned, this is a qualifier race. While we are showcasing 4 runners, there is actually a total of, I believe, 31 runners in this race. And we did actually just have our first finisher, and that would be Unos with a time of 43.53. So he will take first place overall in this qualifier.
That's an insane time. Also, JSR finally picked up the any key you thought he picked up a while ago.
I just had the foresight of like 20 minutes there. Sees that he's ladder blocked. He is going to kill this room just to see if the Triforce is in here. Knows that it's not, so he's not going to have to bother revisiting.
Well, there's the Triforce in level 4. That's a very interesting offset location for the Triforce.
Yeah, there's a weird set of rules on where things can drop in certain rooms. JSR is going to go ahead and grab it. Now, he was considering going through and looking through a little bit more of level 4 to maybe potentially find the ladder, and he is going back in. I didn't know if he was fully ladder blocked or not, but he is going back in.
JSR is going to have to be a little careful here, though. With his silver arrow resources, he only has 17 rupees. Also, level 3, not treating Nora very well. Doesn't help when you don't have keys or bombs, so Nora's going to have to go ahead and regroup here and figure out what he's going to want to do, starting off by going ahead up to this fairy fountain and refilling on health. And now here's the other thing to keep in mind with this routing that JSR has done here, is he's going to be scrolling back up to level 6 to finish that. He's also going to pass by the magical sword screen. At this point, with having 11 hearts, he's going to have a 40% chance of picking up the magical sword, as here in the randomizer, it is randomized to need between 10 and 14 hearts to pick it up.
Yeah, now he did abandon the heart on the coast earlier. He did peek at it, decided not to pick it up. That would have given him a better chance. But I think the fact that he has White Sword, he's not too concerned, especially because he just got another heart container there. But at this point, he knows that ladder has to be in 7, so we'll be heading there soon. And Tej, we have our second finisher. Captain Green, time of 46:52.
Like, just seeing, like, there wasn't a lot of necessarily trolley locations in this, but that just ridiculous. Like, knowing where everything is still, having to kill things, that level of time is just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, for sure. And this goes into sort of routing decisions. If you got that recorder early, let's say you decided to do a route of 1 to 5, and you got that recorder, and then you immediately hit 3 and went to 7 afterwards, well, there you have, possible White Sword, Red Ring, ladder, recorder, a bunch of what you need very, very quickly.
Well, Dr. Blue was pretty much guaranteed to get the magical sword, because that's 14 of the 16 hearts.
Yeah, and it's always a nice thing to be able to grab, regardless of if you really need it, because it does make all your combat so much faster.
Oh, absolutely. And JSR does officially pick up his ladder. That is going to put him in go mode. So at this point, it is grab the Triforce in 7, grab the Triforce in 6, head on down to level 9, get yourself again and rescue yourself. I'm very disappointed, though, by the way, that the more I think about this, the more that Lil Z needs to fight the mailman.
Maybe, eventually. So, unfortunately for JSR, if you remember, the most difficult thing of this seed was, or this 7, was finding the Triforce. He does grab Red Ring there, which makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, so Nora's in a bit of a bind here, because the second item in 5, the Red Ring, is literally right, or the Red Candle, is literally right below where he was, but he needs a key.
As I said, keys are coming in very, very important. And speaking of coming in, we have a lot of finishers coming in fast. Jam Evil, Random Effect, and Theorwolf in 3rd, 4th, and 5th places, respectively. 49-10, 49-37, 49-47.
That is a ridiculous string of dot-duns there. Like, to have them be all that close together, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and you're going to get that in a lot of these qualifiers with this many people, so I expect more to come in, but our runners are still on their way. Now, we have noted that JSR is in go mode. Garion is very close, just needs to find the graft here in level 8, and then eventually head back to level 1 to grab the bow, and then he'll be good to go as well. So it's just a matter of time for Garion to be able to start heading to 9-2.
Yeah, Nora was attempting to block clip there to try and kill the blue dark nuts, but comes off the clip, and then the dark nuts are just saying, nope, 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 you will do nothing and like it. We get JSR killing things here in this blue dark nut room, using some bombs. Now out of bombs, he's going to have to stay exclusively on White Sword, and is rewarded with his delicious piece of Tringle. And we've got another finisher coming in, Sea Falcon coming in with a 6th place time of 50 minutes and 57 seconds.
Yeah, so JSR luckily knows exactly where Triforce is. His level 6 is going to be like 10 seconds long. And then he'll be heading up to level 9. So we'll see if there's anything trolly going on in there in the level 9. We also have another finisher, Sci-Town, 51-55.
Unfortunately, we need either 13 or 14 hearts for the milk bone.
I would say milk bone, but no, I can't say I've ever actually tasted one. So.
I was going to ask. JSR stopping to kill this room, not because he needs to kill this room, but because he's coming to get a bomb drop here off those dark nuts. Unfortunately, does not get any. And because he stopped to get the try and kill the bombs, it was like a 15-second one. But anyway, JSR is now on his way to level 9. So, for those of you who this may be your first time tuning into anything Zelda 1 Randomizer related, there are a couple of things we are looking/listening for here in this level 9. Krim, would you like to explain to everybody what we are looking and listening for?
Well, what we're going to be listening for is the Beast, because it's not always canon. The Beast is pretty loud, and if you're adjacent to the Beast, you can hear the Beast, so you know that they are right there. Now, we are also looking for a shutter door that will not open when we go to, when we kill all the enemies. So, if that door does not open, we know that Zelda's behind it. Once we defeat the Beast and grab the Triforce, that door will automatically open, even if there are still enemies in the room.
Yep, so JSR making a quick detour to what we like to refer to as the forgotten spot, because a lot of people tend to forget the bomb in the randomizer races, to pick up a 8-pack of bombs. They were only 5 rupees, so you might as well. And now he is going to be going ahead into level 9. Meanwhile, we've got Noraestra on the coast trying to get bombs, finally acquiring bombs, so he's going to be happy there. Dr. Blue is in level 5 in Kupo, and Garion is in level 4 looking for his Triforce.
Hey. Oh, Darkroom, that's right. I was gonna say, hey, look, meet Ganon, but no, it's just Darkroom.
Yes, because you can actually have dark rooms in this because it's not shaped.
Now, JSR is employing a typical strat we'll see, where runners just go up in a straight column, then wrap around. Basically, you're trying to keep as linear a path as possible, leaving a room in between where you search, because if you hear the roar, then you'll know that it's in one of those rooms. So you're basically covering a lot of area by doing that.
And unfortunately for Garion, he does find the Triforce here in level 4, but opts not to take it because, remember, he still needs the bow, which is hiding back in level 1.
Yeah, so sort of similar to JSR earlier with the ladder. It's the bow that's causing Garion a little bit of headache. Now, I would imagine that if he does not find the bow here, he already has it determined that it is level 1 where he needs to go back to. So I would imagine that we would immediately see him whistle back to level 1.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you've got an item outstanding in level 1, yes, it's Wizrobe Hell, but I would absolutely do that. And Nora going to go ahead and stop into the co-shop and pick up not 1, but 2 keys. Now, normally we jokingly refer to those as keys of shame, not because there's a shame in buying them, but because when you buy them, the little tune that the game plays is very, like, it's the item get theme, but it's been reduced by, like, 6 octaves, so it sounds very sad, like the game is saying, you are horrible, you had to buy a key.
Yeah, I actually don't get why it doesn't do that for bombs, because it does it pretty much for every other consumable item. But, yeah, it does it for the small heart, too.
Yep, so Garion is going to be able to finish up this level 4 and then make his way over to level 1. Nora going to go ahead and screen scroll back to level 3. I hear pig.
Oink oink. Why did we call it a pig? He looks more like a boar.
Well, you can be bored with him all you want. Dr. Blue almost noping out of the any key, which would have been a very interesting strategy. And JSR is going to go ahead and take out Ganon. You are required to fire 1 silver arrow at the beast to kill him. And now we're just on our way to finding the princess. And that will help find the princess.
Yeah, usually.
And if my memory serves me correctly, as Garion picks up the bow from underneath Patra, that's the room where the red ring normally is in the vanilla game.
Yes. Well, not... I mean, technically not where the red ring is, it's where the staircase to the red ring is.
Are you going to be haha got you on a technicality guy?
For you, yes.
Oh, just because it's me?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, at least we have an accord here.
Dr. Blue trying to fight all those Lionels over there. Finally able to escape them, so he's going to damage boost his way up to level 9 with the help of some of those Moblins.
Yep, we have Dr. Blue and Garion both heading over to level 9. Garion looks like he's just making a quick pit stop to try and pick up the magical sword. He unfortunately is going to be very disappointed in the fact that 12 hearts is not enough.
Well, 60% is still a failing grade.
Yep. Nora back in level 5. Probably desperately looking for an item here. Going to be very disappointed to figure out that it's only the red candle. The items he's looking for are in 8, which he has been in briefly and has decided to nope on out of, and back in level 2 where the Wallmaster messed him up. And I know Wallmasters messing people up. That's something that tends to happen a lot because you forget they're there.
So JSR still searching around. Looks like he's having a little difficulty finding his way where he needs to go. So see if it's any more difficult, or if this ladder clip might be the key, or, well, no pun intended there, but the key to getting there. And it looks like it may eventually lead over that way.
Just a note for those of you watching, this is maybe your first time here. A clip like you just saw JSR do, that ladder clip, will never be required to find a path anywhere. There will always be a way around it. So don't fret if you've never done this before. There is never going to be a required clip. There is no sort of hard logic that's not a thing. And JSR is going to go ahead and finish up, becoming our 9th place finisher with a time of 1 hour and 8 seconds.
And Zelda thanking Lil Z. He's a good dog.
He is a good boy. He's the best boy. I mean, how can you hate Lil Z? So right after JSR, we've got our 10th place finisher Al Solo with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 19 seconds. We've also got both Garyon and Dr. Blue in level 9. And Nora is now killing moblins outside the grave area Armos because, well, I'm perfectly okay with killing moblins. Because they deserve it.
So, looks like Nora's going to be checking this magic sword. We know it's not good at 12 hearts, so 10 hearts definitely won't be good, but it's going to check it anyway. Also, yeah. I'm so glad that you didn't react to that one.
Which one? The Fresh Prince theme?
No, the Do It Rockapella.
Oh, I've seen it like 5 times and I haven't said it yet, so I thought about it. We do have our 11th place finisher, though, RKC TKC, with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 38 seconds.
And speaking of finishers, we do have JSR here with us. Good game, sir.
Okay, mic check. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
good.
We're good now.
How's it going?
Going well, you?
I'm a little salty, but I'll take it.
That Wall Master in 2?
Yeah, the Wall Master in 2, I was frustrated. I knew there was an item in there, but I thought there was a Dig Dogger, so I was thinking that there was a Dig Dogger block item, and I was just going to come back to it if I needed to, and of course, I'm guessing I wasn't the only one.
Probably not.
But, I mean, it was just one of those chain reaction seeds, and I definitely went in the wrong order. I mean, I played my game plan exactly how I intended to. It just didn't work out this time.
I mean, but that's the nature of how these seeds go, especially with the heart shuffle on. Sometimes it's the killing of the room, and some people kill a room that you're like, why would you kill that? And they end up with, getting whatever they need, and sometimes you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm still kind of, with the heart shuffle, I'm still struggling a little bit with trying to pick and choose my battles. Like, I'm not sure what a lot of other runners do. I probably should pay more attention to that, because I clear way too many rooms. You never know, because every time I tell myself, and I'm sure a lot of people struggle with this too, it's like every time I tell myself, oh, I shouldn't clear this room, I might end up missing an item, and then that ends up being the one time that's the item you need for go mode or something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You absolutely have the recency bias thing. I get you. I hear you.
Still, though, I really enjoy these flag sets. I think it's so much different. Traditional randomizer, the ones we've been using in the other tournaments, because it does feel a little bit like you can route it, a little bit like it's almost like a vanilla speedrun to an extent. I mean, obviously you're still gambling on items and stuff, but it's kind of like how Router's Relish feels. It's like you kind of have a game plan and you just go with it, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, I'm really enjoying this flag set. All the prep getting up to the tournament starting has been amazing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, you get that sort of pseudo feeling of control as to what's going on with this flag set. because you know where everything is. Just a matter of, okay, what gambles do I take? Yeah, I 100% agree with you, because you at least, you go into it like, okay, I have a plan. I'm going to go level 1 to level 2 to level 5 to check the white sword. I'm going to go level 3 to level 6 to check the Armos item, things like that. I definitely agree with you. It has that feeling of having more control than you probably actually do.
Exactly. I mean, my game plan is go to 1, and I thought when I went to 1 and I got the items that I did, was able to clear it first try, left with a couple keys. I was thinking, oh sweet man, I'll go up, get the Armos item, and clear out 6, and this will be great. Oh, now I'm ladder blocked. It's like, that one stop. If I go to 2 first, then it kind of allows for the different chain reaction, and like it's kind of cool because there's so many different options and none of them are necessarily correct.
Yeah, as it's going on, we have a couple more finishers there. John has finished in 12th place with a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 48 seconds. And in 13th place, we have Angel FM with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 27 seconds.
I definitely want to thank everybody involved over on Speed Gaming for putting on the restream. And of course, you find people for doing the Lord's work behind the scenes. And of course, the commentators, trackers, and everyone involved in tonight's production. Really appreciate it, you guys.
Well, we appreciate, the entertainment, the little Z sprite, and I was firmly in your corner because you picked up the yellow tennis ball.
Yellow tennis ball is required with this particular sprite ROM. Like you have to. He's a good boy. You have to give the good boy his ball.
He's the best boy.
Yes, exactly.
Although I was talking to your sprite designer here, and we think that the Ganon sprite needs to be replaced. Little Z needs to be fighting the mailman.
I was thinking the exact same thing, man. I was trying to figure out how to do it. I've downloaded the tile editor, and I have no idea what I'm doing, man. It looks like somebody took an Andy Warhol painting and just slapped some paint on top of the painting. It's not good. I need a rescue. I need a rescue here.
Yeah, I'll work on it, see what I can do. But right now, Garen's fighting an oversized Zelda.
Yeah, that's one of my other favorite features here, is if you play as an enemy sprite, you are fighting Zelda and rescuing Ganon, because Hyrule is all topsy-turvy.
But that is the second beast kill that we have, so Garen now going to have to take that really odd path up to where the kidnapped is. Seems like
Dr. Blue looking for the same path. Yeah, Dr. Blue looking for that exact same path here as well. So, and Nora's still in too, looking for something. We know it's the recorder, but just something.
Well, I'll let you guys get back to finishing up the call. I really appreciate everything, and GG to all the runners.
One more question before you go. I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I didn't ask this question, Jay. How are you feeling after 8 hours on a desert bus?
Oh man, I've seen the sights, and I have returned a better man because of it. Mostly because I'll never have to play that game again. Honestly, that wasn't that bad. My chat really helped me get through that, and that was actually a cool experience. One I don't necessarily think I'll ever do again, but a cool experience nonetheless. Not the worst game in the AVGN trials so far.
What game has that distinction?
Oh man, well, it's not the actual game, because the actual game doesn't really exist, but Polybius. Polybius for the PlayStation 4, which was the only way I could fulfill that requirement, and it's I would borderline say it's a dangerous game to play. Like it's especially if you suffer from epilepsy or you're prone to seizures, like it is legitimately dangerous. And playing that for 6 hours, I was kind of losing my mind. That was rough, man.
No, please don't destroy yourself in the pursuit of entertainment or that. We appreciate the work that you do. I mean, anyone who is bold enough to sit there and play Desert Bus for 8 hours has to be a good person. I've seen some crazy things with Desert Bus.
Well, it's been an experience. Again, I don't want to take away from the race too much, but yeah, it's been a fun experience. I'm glad I still have a long way to go, and I appreciate everybody for the support in my journey.
Absolutely, and if you want to see things other than Desert Bus, just a reminder: definitely give JSR and these other runners a follow. All entertaining to watch, a lot of C1 play as well as other stuff. As JSR mentioned, he does a lot with the AVGN trials, so definitely check them all out. Be sure to follow them all.
And not to interrupt here, but we have a ridiculously close 1 second differential here in finish. Before I get to that, though, we have King Doll in 14th place with a time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 47 seconds. And then with a 1 second differential, between 15th and 16th place. Gary and Old Wolf there on screen right now is going to be your 15th place finisher with a time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 13 seconds. And OPT Lawyer going to be right behind him with 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 14 seconds. Followed by that, Buletta in 17th place with 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Good grief.
Yeah, so a lot of finishers coming in here. Dr. Blue trying to get to the end, just finding that path to Zelda. North trying to get all the other stuff that he needs. Back in level 8 with the recorder now, so he's going to be able to do a little more searching. We know the raft's in here as well, which I believe he's probably deduced as well. So North's going to be doing a little more exploring here in 8. I'm a Sock coming in 18th place with a time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 25 seconds. Now, something that Rick mentioned in chat before I let TG talk and we get back to Gary in here. I do want to thank JSR as well as Rick, Jam Evil, and Fred, who are the other admins of this tournament. There's a lot of discussion that went in before this, so they put in a lot of hard work already, so I want to thank them all.
And you as well, man. You do a great job getting all this stuff organized, and of course the heart and soul of our admin team, and helping to get these things off the ground. Your hard work is not ignored. I hope everybody in the community appreciates it as much as we do.
Thank you for those kind words. And TG, Gary's here, so you want to go ahead and start chatting with him?
No, I'm ignoring him, so you can go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to go ahead and watch as Dr. Blue has found the path to Zelda, and is going to go ahead and finish in 19th place with a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 16 seconds. Yes, I spoiled it 3 seconds before he found Zelda. I don't care. But Grim, you can go ahead and handle the interview. I'm not talking to Gary.
So, Gary, you win our Annoyed TG contest because you decided to shun the boomerang in level 2 and actually attempt to destroy it. So thank you for that. So what do you think of the seed?
I thought it was a pretty
interesting
nice
seed.
Thought it was a pretty nice seed. Felt like it was going quick until I realized I was still missing the button.
Yeah, that was actually one of the big things that we noticed early on is you were in 1 and you just happened to leave without it. And at that point, just the way the game progressed for you, it sort of allowed you to check all the other dungeons before you actually got back in to 1 to find the bow. So, yeah, you definitely had a pretty quick beginning there.
Yeah, the only reason I left 1 when I did was I felt like it was the combat was too heavy. So I thought, let me just leave, and if I have to, I'll come back later. And of course, it was I have to come back.
So really, the only other thing than that was that path to Zelda. Or Ganon,
yeah, that
for
was
you.
rotten.
That was special.
Oh, and we also have Dr. Blue with us. GG to you as well.
Hello, thanks. Good games to everyone else.
So, same question. This being our first weekly qualifier, what was your? How did you feel about that seed? It didn't seem too bad. There was just a few things that were hang-ups there. So, what do you think overall?
Well, there were a few, like, what I would call combat blocks in the beginning. 1 had whiz robes, 3 had whiz robes, 5 had something that killed me. So I was just bouncing out of there until I got something. Then I poked into 7, got ladder and red ring. Those were nice. And I also got white sword at white sword spot. So I was like, okay, unblock there. And things were going along pretty well, I think, until level 9, where I full cleared the dungeon because Zelda was tucked up in the top right.
Yeah, that path to Zelda was special.
Yeah, I'd mismarked on my map that top right, like 2 tiles to the left, actually had a door. I had it as like, oh, I'll come back and bomb later. Maybe I should have guessed that there was something up there when the second row far right, those top 2 spots you couldn't bomb into. Maybe that was suspicious.
Yeah, it always feels suspicious when there's that one small spot you can't access. And then you get worried because then you start thinking, okay, well, that means it might be, one of those magical staircases that I have to go through and search, which it seems to be the case a lot in level 9 when you don't have to look for silver arrows.
Yeah, you always start fretting and getting worried. It's like, oh, maybe I should have turned right when I turned left, or taken a different passage. There were all those passages in the beginning. I was like, okay, one of those had to be it. Turns out the answer was none of those.
So, Dr. Blue, you're actually the only one who was able to grab the magic sword. I know that JSR and Garion both tried at 12 hearts and neither were able to get it. So the fact that you had 14 when you went there was definitely beneficial for you. Do you think that made a big difference in 9, or do you think the 9 was tame enough, at least with those enemies, that it wouldn't have been too much of an issue with white sword?
Oh, I could have taken 9 with white sword, even wood sword easily. There was nothing going on in there, I think. It was just some of the early dungeons. And then when I got to 11 hearts, I was like, okay, there's 3 more in the overworld. I'll just go grab those real quick and get mags and then just clean up. That plus red ring means you almost don't have to think.
And likewise, Garion, were you a little disappointed when 12 hearts wasn't enough, that you're going in with just red ring and white sword, or are you comfortable enough with those items there?
I'm comfortable with them, but I was hoping it was going to be 12. Because it does cut down the speed at the length of the Ganon fight if you do have the magical sword. So I was really hoping it was only going to be 12. But of course it wasn't, just like the bow was. But at least I got to bomb Lord Banana.
Yes, and for that we're all thankful.
We are not all thankful. You're thankful. Not everybody is thankful.
If you peek at my stream, that was my level 9 mapping. A beautiful 9.
Yeah. What I will say, though, is that we at least had 2 runners on stream pick up Lord Banana, because JSR picked up the tennis ball for the good boy, and Nora also has Lord Banana as well. So at least we are fulfilling the Lord Banana quotient for the day.
And I burned the book.
JSR used the book as his fire source to get into 8.
I
Nice.
almost picked up the book until I realized, wait, that's the book I don't want.
Oh, that is a 9. That 9 is beautiful.
That actually works really well. Nice map for everyone to see. We do have a few more finishers that have come in. Dude. That is not me stuttering. 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 15 seconds for 20th place. Truant Gamer in 21st with a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, 34 seconds. And Homer J Smash in 22nd place, 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 46 seconds.
I didn't even check. Who were like the top?
Our first place finisher was Yunus today. It went Yunus, then Captain Green, and then Jam Evil for top 3.
Very good.
So Nora, still doing a little bit of exploration here in level 8. Still needs to find the raft in here. That's going to be one of his final key items. And then eventually we'll make his way back over to level 7 to find the ladder, which we know is necessary in level 6.
Oh yeah, I guess that was the other kind of reason I was bouncing out of a lot of dungeons, was I was getting ladder blocked all over the. So I was glad to find that in 7.
Yeah, it was actually interesting because there were a bunch of ladder blocks, but I believe the Triforce in 6 was really the only thing that it was required for. Everything else, it was just either a massive convenience or it was knowledge that that specific item wasn't there. So Nora finally making his way into the room where the raft will be located. I believe he has already found both other items here in 8, so that will tell him that he can go back and grab that Triforce and head on out of here. We do have another finisher. Overswarm finishes with a time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Nora, extremely happy to find that raft, though, because he's been digging through this level 8 for a while. He's already got the Triforce ready to go because he killed the Patra that was blocking it. So now all he has to do is kill these like-likes. He can get the Triforce out of level 8, and we will be good to go.
So Nora, frustration burning something there, well, himself, but does pick up the Triforce 8. So with 1, 4, 6, and 7 left, probably see him quickly head back towards level 1, I believe, and then just do everything in sort of that same loop that we saw from JSR earlier.
Yeah, it definitely makes the most sense. And at this point, the only thing that Nora does need is the ladder, which is super easy to acquire in 7. So.
And I guess we've been doing a lot of talking. We never really thanked one other person here. So a quick shout out to Dark Falls behind the scenes for this race. This is actually the only the second ever tournament race that we've done where we've had four player tracking. So it's going to take a little while to get used to for all of our trackers, but definitely did a good job behind the scenes. And we thank him for not only tracking this race, but leading the tracking group. So just want to give him a shout out.
Not to mention putting up with having listening to you and I do this the entire time. Mostly me, but.
Well, I mean, if he was smart, he would have turned your volume down.
I mean, there is always that, but Nora going to go ahead and kill as many likes as humanly and physically possible, and get nothing for a reward except a 5 spot in the wall, and immediately goes ahead and takes the key out of the key room. Is going to be at least somewhat rewarded because there is a Tringle here.
Yeah, he's probably still frustrating Nora pretty heavily. That was the other big hang-up that he's been encountering pretty much this entire seed, is all those key blocks that he's had where he's had to leave and come back later. So definitely frustrating.
But key woes are now a thing of the past for Nora, as he has come across the any key and he is burning the heck out of the lion.
I was glad to pick that up, even though I was in go mode.
Oh yeah, that's something you're always like, yeah, I'm picking this up and I'm good. Nor just double checking, making sure that wasn't the floor drop there.
Yeah, always a good decision just to verify that there is no floor drop there, just in case, especially since he still needs the ladder to know that he doesn't have to go back into that room. He is going to grab the Triforce here, may choose to re-enter. It's actually quicker to grab the Triforce and re-enter rather than walk all the way back and then walk back up to the Triforce, so we'll see what he decides to do here.
I mean, and he's also going to have the benefit of, hey, I have a full refill of health now. So you're going to go ahead and take the long, winding, circuitous path here through. Hey, we got a little screen time for Lord Banana there. We saw some boomerang. We're happy, everybody. I'm happy. We're good. We can all go home happy.
So going through killing these gels, getting an unnecessary compass. I don't believe the item was too far away from here, so we will be able to see him grab this item and then leave. Luckily for him, the next dungeon in his stop should be level 7, so that will at least tell him, or allow him to find the ladder and get to level 9 pretty soon.
Yep, but at this point, you know, the ladder in 6, or ladder in 7, along with the red ring, as we mentioned earlier, the hardest part of that level 7 was finding the Triforce. And then the Triforce in 6 is free. And then, of course, we have the issue of not necessarily finding Ganon. Ganon was pretty easy to find. It was that whole issue of Zelda being very good at hide and seek.
So Nora going to take the refill here from the fairy right before level 7. Always a good decision, especially if you don't know what you're walking into with level 7, a bunch of whiz robes or a bunch of dark nuts, and it could be a not fun time. So grabbing that health refill is definitely going to be great. Getting the red ring in level 7 is going to be even greater for Nora.
So while we're sitting here and we have Nora going through level 7 here, and he's going to be very happy to find ladder here very soon. Krim, question for you. Say people want more Zelda 1 2019 tournament qualifiers. When can they get more?
Oh, well, the great thing about this is the qualifiers are all going to be on a set schedule. So we have this schedule for the entire week. So it appears as if our next race is going to be tomorrow at midnight Eastern, so that's 9 Pacific tomorrow, and that is going to be on Speed Gaming 2. Then on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, we have a restream over on Randomania 2. Then our next race is at 1 o'clock. That's a day race on Wednesday, and that's going to be on Speed Gaming 2. On Thursday, our 11 o'clock race is back here on Speed Gaming. On Friday, 8:30, Randomania is going to have our race, and then there's going to be 2 on Saturday, 1 at noon on Randomania and 1 at 9 on Speed Gaming 2.
And there you have it. And when we come back to you for next week's races, we will have that schedule ready to go. But again, this entire first week of races is going to be these same flags, these same style, and plenty of Zelda 1 Randomizer action to get you through your.
And also, if my rambling put you to sleep instead of allowing you to catch where it was, you can always visit that link right there, the Z1R 2019 schedule, and that will show you all the upcoming races, even when we hit brackets. So, TGE, we mentioned that there were, I guess, Gary confirmed 33 racers in today's race. How many participants did we have total?
Well, I mean, in addition to having enough participants for every room here in level 7, we have a grand total of 102 participants in the tournament.
Which is excellent, because that means that's going to be a ton of bracket races, which is going to be a ton of fun for all of us to watch.
You say a ton of fun for all of us to watch, and my thought about that is that's at minimum 102 races, because they're best of 3. That's an astronomically large number. I love it, because it's Zelda 1 Randomizer. There's so much of it. That's just a lot of Z1. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Just the thought of 102 races the first week scares me.
Well, the first 2 weeks. Remember, we extended that to 2 weeks, so it's not as bad.
No, you're right, it's not as bad.
Well,
But say since it was just
thanks to Donald's.
Do we want to talk about that? Okay,
We'll talk about that as well.
Yes. I mean, so
not attached to this tournament, but an additional thing that we do have going on is there is an SG Live event that is brought to you by Feasel and here at Speed Gaming, and the Zelda 1 Randomizer is actually going to be a part of that, and it's going to be a live on-stream event of both tournaments and speedrunning that are going to be hosted on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 at the end of October. But one of the tournaments will be a Zelda 1 Randomizer tournament, and there will actually be cash prizes for a bunch of the events down there. So if it is something that interests you, go ahead and check out that link, because I can only assume it's going to be a great time.
I mean, it's SG Live, it's video games, it's DC. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time you and I were in DC for a live in-person video game event, it was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, DC events are always fun, especially the hotel room that it's going to be at. And also, immediately following this this race right here, hold on, let me bring up the schedule. I think there's more stuff going on Speed Gaming.
And while he's going to go ahead and bring up your schedule, Nora's going to find this room full of dark nuts. Good news, this is the room he needs. Bad news, it's a room full of blue dark nuts. Good news, we have the red ring. Bad news, it's still a room full of blue dark nuts. You may notice that you see the white sword and the wand happening here at the same time. That's a little trick where if you tap the A and B button at the same on the same frame, you actually get both animations from the wand and the sword, and will deal the damage of both of them at the same time. So in this case, with Nora having both the white sword and the wand, Nora will go ahead and deal 4 damage as opposed to the normal 2 that he would deal from either the wand or from the white sword. If you multiply that with the magical sword, that means, oh hey, we now have 6 damage happening. It's great.
Yeah, so after this, we are actually going to be sending people over to Speed Gaming 3. There's a Super Metroid and Link to the Past Randomizer co-op going on over there. But speaking of the SG Live event, we do have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer and the Link to the Past Randomizer qualifiers happening tonight. Ocarina of Time is going to be on Speed Gaming 2. Link to the Past is going to be on Speed Gaming at 7:15. And then if you like Zelda 1 Randomizer and you want a sneak peek at what we're going to be running next week for the qualifiers, come back tonight at 10 p.m. and there is going to be our Zelda 1 Randomizer weekly race.
Yeah, that is going to be a preview of the Week 2 flags. And we do have a couple more people who have finished. Catastrophe finishing in 24th place with a time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 40 seconds. And right behind the Catastrophe is CCX in 25th place with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 52 seconds. I'm very disappointed that wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 1, 3, 4, 5, and then the 2. That's bothering me.
Well, I'm glad something is.
You just have it in for me. You like to see me suffer, don't you?
We had to endure your singing. And
when did
now
I sing? Hold on. When did I sing?
I swear you sung something earlier.
I did not sing anything. Oh, I sang the logs with the raft. That's what I sang.
It was something. And now we know why Nora opted to hold off on the Triforce in 1. It's Blue Wizrobes. Quick work, grabs his Triforce. Now just on to level 6 for the 2-room Triforce, and then finally we'll be able to head to level 9.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nora going to go ahead and pick up a bomb pack, and where is Nora going? Did we miss a heart?
He may be grabbing another heart just to ensure that he can maybe get magical sword.
Potentially.
Especially if he checked and he knows that a heart container is on the coast. That may either that or
right, but if you're going to go to the coast, you
yeah,
would.
He's not going to the coast right now.
Did he not pick up the Triforce in 5 and we just have it mismarked? No, he got the Triforce out of 5. He thought he forgot the Triforce out of 5. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that one makes more sense now. Let's say, because if you're going for a heart container, you'd do this. You'd whistle to 8.
He just wanted to go on a scenic tour.
A 3-hour tour?
I don't think he wants to do one of those seeds again.
No, probably not. So what's happening here is we didn't address it too much here, but we do have some screen scrolling that we've been seeing. Now, there are 2 particular screen scrolls, at least in my opinion here, that are, if you're going to learn how to do only 2, it's this one here and the one you saw Nora do earlier up to go to level 5. Because both of those screen scrolls get you out of having to go through multiple screens at the same time. Because to go through the Dead Woods, you have to go up left, down left. And then to go through the Lost Hills, you have to go up the mountain ahead. So learning both those screen scrolls makes up for a lot of that time.
Yeah, I would say with these flags, the other 2 important ones would be to learn the screen scrolls to what we call across the river, first of all, and then at the Forgotten spot to get over to the Grave area a lot faster. And Nora did learn the bad news that 12 hearts was not enough to grab the magic sword, so he's just going to be on white sword strats going through. Luckily, level 9 is not that horrible, so yeah, just going to come in here to level 6, kill a few keys, and then we'll be on his way to level.
I'm trying to figure out why we're whistling. Also, we have another finisher here. Paranoia has finished in 26th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 43 seconds. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, I see what's happening. He's going to pick up the 13th heart container to try again. or pick up the potion. I actually like this play here, stopping in 1 to pick up the potion before you go to 9. I very much like this play. And that's and especially if you're still you're playing this the first couple of times and you still might be a little unsure of your ability to fight Ganon. Picking up a safety potion there is great because especially you're going to have 4. You don't necessarily have to go up and get the letter. So picking up a safety potion, heck, I still do it when I speedrun the game vanilla, although I don't speedrun the game vanilla too often. But now we have Nora going into level 9. Now, as you can see here, and Dr. Blue has been gracious enough to leave the map of 9, the complete map of 9, on the stream for us. So we now know the path that we need to take. And we will see how Nora does in this path. But we have the map of 9, so go ahead, and we can play the compare and contrast game between the map of 9 you see below Nora's stream and Nora actually going ahead and doing that. So Nora is going to go ahead and do what we had talked about earlier with JSR, and that's just going straight up to try and listen for Ganon. We know, however, that what you need to do right now is take the left-hand turn here, but probably the same thing I would do here, probably what most runners would do here is exactly that, and go straight up north. Now, the interesting thing to keep in mind here is Nora only has 1 bomb left. Now, we know from earlier that access to Ganon is strictly bomb required, both from the south, like you saw JSR do, and from the north, like you saw Garion do. So we do need to, in fact, have a bomb to get into Ganon's room. So it's going to be interesting to see how bomb resource, Keith comes into play, and Nora accidentally going ahead and bombing that last set of Moldorms there. So this is, again, very interesting to see how the resource management comes into play. Good thing is right near the beginning of the dungeon here is there was that room full of orange gorillas, which are going to be fairly easy for him to kill. So there is at least potential for bomb drops coming. Nora now going to go ahead and make the left turn. Unfortunately, left isn't going to get him very far.
Yeah, cycles through and notices I can't do anything over there.
But he did hear Ganon in that room, so he now knows where he has to go. So he at least knows that.
Yeah, we do see Nora going ahead and clearing out the Dig Dogger there. Basically clearing the rooms just to try to hopefully find a bomb drop. As you mentioned, these Red Gorilla, also a great option, and he does get the bomb drop there, so is able to head back over. Looks like he's going to try to take another path just to see if he can maybe get there without bombing.
Which he won't be able to, because that's the... well, he won't be able to bomb down here. Oh, I see what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and bomb left first.
Yeah, figures he heard the roar there, so not a bad option here. And if he has to, then he can go back through. Well, he's going to have to go back through.
Right, I mean, you're at 3 hearts either way. You might as well see if you can take the quick way in. So it makes a ton of sense to me. And he is sitting on both a red and a blue potion, so it makes all the sense in the world to do that.
Yeah, it does have to be careful, though, because he just blew a bomb trying to get quicker access to that room that he was in earlier, and of course that didn't go off, so gonna have to try to find another way. Taking a staircase here, so he's going to try to navigate his way back through, but yeah, maybe easier for him just to go back and try to go through the key door that was there earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know exactly where you're going, so I understand the concept of, hey, let's try and cheese our way down over there. But you have an idea of where you're going. You know exactly where you need to go. So you have an open path that doesn't require bombs right now. So I absolutely I'm a big proponent of let's just go ahead and try and bomb there. I'm confused as to why he's taking stairs. Alrighty, so we have another finisher. Over in 27th place, we have Phoenix Ignition finishing with a time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 11 seconds. And Nora is now going to go head over to the left and can continue on through the key door here and make his way down to Ganon from the top. This is going to be this is the easy part of 9. And he's like, oh, bomb pack, yay! Yeah, this is the easy part of level 9. The hard part, finding Zelda.
Alright, so before he can go on the trek for Zelda, he does have to stab Ganon 8 times with the White Sword. That will put him in his vulnerable state to the Silver Arrow, and then 1 shot and he will be able to search. Now, he still does have quite a bit of 9 to navigate, so we'll see how quickly he can potentially find the compass. That will sort of push him up in that direction.
So, the other day I was watching Nora. He was definitely having some fun practicing there on Ganon, and considering the struggles he was having on practice earlier, to see him, even though he did take a couple of shots there, to see him get that well of a kill, that's got to feel good. That's absolutely got to feel fantastic.
Yeah, I would say, at least from my personal experience, and this is also including watching a bunch of runners, the frustrations of dying to Ganon and how they can exponentially just grow and grow and grow I think that's what makes Ganon worse than anything, is just the fact that there's just that frustration, and you can tilt so easily, and then you just keep on diving in and dying over and over and over again, and you lose so much time to it. So I think that's the most dangerous part of a Ganon fight.
No, absolutely. And it becomes one of those sort of self-fulfilling prophecies where the more you fight him and the more you lose to him, the more frustrated you get, the angrier you get, and the more you lose your patience with it. And it's one of those things where it's just, I 100% get what you're saying. And I agree with Nora coming up here, to try and bomb in, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to go in here because we know that it's only a one-way street here.
So I guess lost in all of this, because we didn't mention this earlier, the guy saying "Do It Rockapella" there is kind of actually convenient, because we're playing like War and the World is the Path to Zelda, so it's close enough.
I mean, yes, we definitely did gloss over a little bit. Now, here's the interesting thing for Nora. He is on the correct path here. He just needs to, now that he knows where the compass is, he knows which direction he can go. And so finding that compass, is going to be huge here for Nora, especially now that he is effectively on the right path. I forget how many bombs were required here, but the interesting thing is going to be is he's going to use his last bomb here, which, based on the map we have, isn't a bombable spot. So he's going to need to get more bombs to find his way through.
Yeah, so hopefully he can find some relatively soon. Now, we do have another finisher, and I believe that is 28th place, and that is Willard J. Bradley from Link to the Past Randomizer fame. 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Yeah, so Nora does take that staircase, finds it's the room he was down in earlier. So at this point now, it's just a matter of, as soon as he finds bombs at all, he's going to be good. Now, if this was me, I would be killing rooms to try and get room drops as well. Especially because there's, a fairly easy set of enemies here in this set of rooms. Although, from what I'm seeing on the map here, we can just go up as well.
Yeah, I believe that there was a clean path, and he did get a bomb drop, but I don't think he's going to... He knows how to ladder clip, so he will be able to pull this off.
So here's
and this was the big thing, is the ladder clip was required.
Well, to have the non-bomb path. So here's the question here, is in this room, I know my preference of ladder clip is the one Nora's doing now, the vertical clip. Do you prefer the vertical or the horizontal clip in this room?
I prefer the vertical, because you can actually line it up with one of the rungs on the ladder. unless you're playing with like one of my many crazy sprites, then it's pretty much having to learn where to line it up. But Nord does find the path, just has to walk past a few mummies here, and he will be finishing. And he is going to be our 29th place finisher, time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, 4 seconds.
And I'm willing to bet that the level of happiness there is palpable.
Speaking of palpable, hi Nora.
Hi.
How are you?
I hate Dig Dogger.
Let's look on the bright side. You killed Gan the first time you went into the room,
And I found the bow.
which was a shock to all of us because none of us saw you grab it.
Yes,
I
Dark
saw the
actually did
patch, I
not
saw the
mention
bow
it.
and ran. No, I Mark II's recorder blocked. I thought I'd cleared every room. Apparently I got clocked in the recorder room and left a wall master. And it took me an hour.
You weren't the only one who that wall master did horrible things to. So I guess the question now becomes thoughts on the not just this set of flags in general, but the whole qualifier process.
Yeah, it's definitely different from what we've done in the past. We usually do the Swiss. I like it. It was a huge race. What we had, 30 people, 31, something.
33, I think Garion said.
That's outstanding to see that many people for race one with another 7 races.
Yeah, something amazing like that. But I guess I mean, aside from the obvious Dig Dogger being Dig Dogger things, overall, what were your thoughts on this?
I was glad to get all the items out of one and run. That was the ugliest one I think I've seen in a while. But otherwise, the seed was not bad. You just needed a ladder, and it was buried in 7 behind the recorder.
Yeah, I guess really the only other issue that you were having is your key blocks were very apparent this entire seed. You're basically
3.
running off. Yeah, you're basically running off the grab a key, spend a key idea.
I never thought I would play a flag set like this where I would buy 3 keys. Never in a million years would I have seen that.
So, I mean, I guess, do you really have like any other thoughts? We got to chat with a few of the other runners earlier, and as you said, the seed was pretty tame. It was just trying to find the stuff in the right order. So,
Yeah, definitely. No, outstanding job by the admins putting this together, ready for the next 4 weeks of qualifiers and then brackets.
absolutely. Well, if that's everything, TG, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap things up here today?
Plenty, but most of them involve still being mad that that Lord Banana got bombed, so they're really not a point to them.
You enjoyed it, TG.
I enjoyed nothing.
Yes, thank you once again, Garion, for that. So, I think we will wrap this up then. Once again, thank you to all of our featured runners, JSR, Noristra, the Dr. Blue, and Garion Old Wolf. Thanks to all of our runners in general, the 29 others who participated in this race. Thank you for SG for once again supporting us with a bunch of these restreams as well throughout the tournament. And once again, thanks to Dark Falls behind the scenes and my partner here, TGE. Make sure you give every single one of those people a follow. Other than that, I am Crimson Avix. I will surely be talking to you guys more throughout this tournament. Take care.
Keep hailing, everybody.